willing to have and embrace that communication with your partners. It will help you and it will help them with clarity on where you're going. If goals change, the partnership could fall apart. These are things I've learned from Mike Shine, right? As Mike is, he and I worked on that book together with Jen's pen, and we were going through the process of what are the 6 steps to great partnerships. Step 3 is morning rituals and clear goals. So you must have routines and rituals. Actually, that's actually a video, but I don't think that was one of the steps, was it, Mike? It wasn't one of the steps. Let me dive into that one a little deeper. We went into affirmations. All right. So you're gonna have to go and read the book for his 3rd step. Jen, do you have it? Do you have it in front of you? While waiting for 3, I'm going to go into 4, long-term commitments. Long-term commitments are the basis for a partnership. If you did not want to be doing something with somebody, you don't need to partner. You could strategic partner. You could be an affiliate. But when you think about partnership, you're talking about, it's like marriage. You're talking about very long-term stuff. We're going to do this for 3 years. We're going to do it for 5 years, doing 7 years, 10 years. This is long-term, especially in real estate. The market could turn, which, looks like it's in the middle of a turn, which, by the way, that doesn't mean it's crashing today. It's in the middle of a turn, a very long turn, a turn that could take 18 months. But in that turn, you may not be able to sell the properties that you were thinking about selling. You may not be able to flip deals that you thought you were going to flip. It may make sense to rent them out. You may have to find different strategies to get the cash flow because you didn't buy it right, or you're too highly leveraged, or your debt is too high. Maybe you're at 12% interest right now. Ron and I, during a while back, during COVID, we were in 12% interest on $2.5 million. Interest only payments, $25,000 a month. Can't care if you know that. That's a portfolio that's really got to have something special to cash flow. And we found a way. We had to find creative ways to pull more cash out of that portfolio. And we had to go and get creative. We had to raise capital. We borrowed more money just to pay the debt that we had just to survive. You have to get a little more creative during times when the system changes. So you may think it's going to be a quick hold or a flip, and it turns into 3 years, 5 years, 7 years. So these are long-term relationships, and you have to be thinking long-term. So getting over yourself, being able to be humble with your partner. It's not all about you. I said this, I started this call earlier with selfishness. So many people are broke because they're selfish. They're focused on them. They're focused on what they want and what they want to do and how they feel. Who's ever been really upset because somebody didn't understand how they felt? Has anybody ever experienced that? Has anybody heard somebody else say that? Like, you don't understand, how I feel. Yes, they're being selfish in that moment. We should pay attention to them. Yes, we should serve them and listen and be involved. But any moment where somebody is being selfish is a moment where they're cutting themselves off from the universe, where they're saying, nope, I don't actually want anything. Please keep it away from me. Because people are attracted to people who are selfless, people who are giving, who are thinking about others, who are serving and supporting. Now, you do have to, think about yourself and your goals at some point. But when you're interacting with others, being selfless is going to get you a whole lot further. When you're giving before asking for something, when you're sharing valuable information, valuable resources, valuable relationships with others, or valuable experiences, those moments are where opportunity is created. When you're sharing first, when you're giving first, when you're being selfless. And sometimes winning the fight in a partnership is not as important as keeping the partnership together. And that's where we're being humble and, forgetting yourself. This conversation, your opinion on this is more important to me. You're the relationship is more important to me than figuring out right now who's right or wrong here. And it is possible that we're both right. And it's also possible that we're both wrong. And one of my favorite sentences, my cheat code for being humble in a partnership is, I've been wrong before. You might be right. I've been wrong before. I genuinely do believe I have been wrong in the past. It doesn't mean I think I'm wrong right now, but it does mean that I may have to go do some research before I get to win this argument, or I may have to go do some research before I identify that you were right in this argument. And I'm thankful that you were energetic enough to keep me going, to keep, to make me realize that there's a new truth that I wasn't aware of. Hands care if you're either right or you're about to learn. If you live life that way, you'll always be right. And you should fight for what you believe in, but you should also fight harder for truth. I love to see a person's side and fight for them and their side, even if it's not what I agree with. Hey, okay, let's go look into this. Complementary strengths in partnerships. This is where the real money comes in. Me and Mike have opposite strengths. We have some similar strengths. Me and Ron have opposite strengths, right? Mike has his law practice, law degree. He's passed the bar. I don't have that, but I have a large community. I'm really good at marketing. So when Alchemist Title was formed, it was based on his ability, his team, his staff, his knowledge, his skills, his experience, and his licensing, so that we can serve more people via closings because of the marketing, the funnel, the amount of people we're bringing in who are real estate investors. Jen's pen, it was the same idea. She had a skill, a talent, and we had the ability to draw in people, to identify who might need our service. And I had the ability to close people on a really great product. And so Jen and I said, let's do this together. Let's build more millionaires. We help more people who help people help more people. So building 100 millionaires through helping them write their books. When Ron and I got together, it was, let's just buy a bunch of real estate. Ask Cameron if the business plan can be that simple. Right? His strength was that he was stable, consistent, organized. My strength was I was a heavy punch. You know, I could go out there. I was the machine gun, right? Point me in the direction and I will kill whatever's in front of me. So raise capital, find deals, find contractors, whatever was needed in the business, you put me in place. You don't want to put me in place to manage the properties for a long period of time because I get bored and I can get destructive. But if you put me out into the battlefield, man, I'm like a general out on the battlefield. I can close and do big things. Hence, Karen, if you know you need somebody out.